So you said criminal justice. Please tell me about your work in that field. What's been your experience?
It's been a pretty wild ride the past 10 years working as an attorney in Columbus. I've gotten to represent so many people. I'm an activist attorney, so a lot of times I'm representing people in civil disobedience actions or protesting for our rights. But my day-to-day is more just your bread and butter, your everyday criminal defense work. I represent adults and kids, so I do adult misdemeanors and felonies. I represent children who are accused of crimes. And then also in these like abuse and neglect cases, I'm a guardian ad litem. So I'm representing the best interest of children. Sometimes I represent the parents who are accused of abuse or neglect. So I feel really lucky that my job is really protecting people's rights. There's the right to parent in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. So, sometimes I'm protecting the parents' rights to parent their children. And I think that is a very important right. Not all the parents that I work with are bad people, although I have seen so many people struggling with drug addiction and other issues as they've been caught up in the system or not having health care. And really, the opiate crisis in Ohio seems to be really rooted in our lack of health care. And I see so many, and our, the struggles that people have with mental illness is really a lot about health care. So providing for some of people's basic needs, stuff that everybody can benefit from, is going to help our whole society. So what I've been able to glean as a defense attorney is that, I've been able to see how policies enacted in the Ohio Revised Code affect people and impact people in their daily lives. So I've seen how child support law, punitive child support law, punishes fathers and it punishes the whole family. I'm absolutely a feminist, but I have so many men who I represent and support men's rights as well. So, I see how fathers are punished, and a lot of times that punishment is really coming down on poor people, poor families, and it punishes the whole family when a man is incarcerated because he can't pay child support, or his driver's license is suspended because he can't pay child support. Then that means that he can't work to support his family. A child is much better off if they have, a parent who's not a felon, and so they're really punishing the child in those cases.
Hold on a second, Constance. You're blowing my mind here.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind here. I said I wasn't going to use the clap button too much more. People say don't use the clap button. I had to use the clap button. I don't know, Constance. Are you real? First of all, you're not a prosecutor that threw people away, threw people in jail. I don't like Kamala Harris. All I'm thinking about is Kamala Harris. Everybody tries to tell me she's so great. She's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm like, well, she didn't even want people to get out of prison early because she wanted to use them as prison labor. But then we got, what a contrasting figure you are, Constance. I'm not blowing smoke at you. This is really great to hear this. What are your thoughts after listening to your experience, what you see on a daily basis, not what you heard, not what you think, but what you see when you hear people talk about, like Kamala Harris, say, Attorney General, and
Yeah, I as an attorney, I work with people across the board. So, I understand that there are a lot of issues that we're trying to tackle as a society. So I bring my unique perspective to that. And I would just say that there are so many problems and issues in our society that we're trying to, do some problem solving, but we cannot incarcerate our way out of the opiate epidemic. We cannot incarcerate our way out of the gun violence problem. We cannot incarcerate our way out of, child support and child poverty. So incarcerating our population is punishing ourselves. It really sets our whole society back. So that is a huge part of our platform and how I've been informed as a defense attorney, that, we're not going to be able to lock everybody up until we have a better world. We have a for-profit prison system that is exploiting people, and it's lobbying to keep marijuana illegal, to keep nonviolent crimes illegal so that they can fill their beds. We have, tons of for-profit prisons in Ohio where they have contracts where they have to keep the beds filled. And that's really hurting Ohioans. It's hurting families. So we have to come up with other solutions to that. We need community-based solutions. So
Right. I just want to interject. I mean, I know I went off there a little bit. I do not support anybody who, I support victims. So I would never support I would never say someone who's, committing harmful acts should not have to pay for that. Like, I think that people should be held accountable for what they do. But as Constance just pointed out, every situation, when you have a monetary gain tied to anything, people will push for more of that thing because they make money from it. I think it's pretty simple. So we have this same problem in D.C. My mother's from New York, same problem in New York. We all know the United States, 5% of the world's population, almost 25% of the world's prison population. Am I in the right ballpark, Constance?
Yeah, we have the highest prison population anywhere in the world. So, and as far as like the profit motive and incarcerating people so that they can work for free, that is a kind of a flaw in our Constitution. The 14th Amendment abolished slavery except if someone's incarcerated. So, that's something where we have a very strong Black caucus in the Green Party at the national level and at the Ohio level, and part of the national platform is abolition of prisons, but also reparations for slavery and the Native American genocide. So that's something that you won't see the Democrats and Republicans talking about. That's something that has come from our Black caucus and something that the rest of us support as okay, this is something that was promised a long time ago and something that we need to move forward on. And so now the issue is how do we move forward on that? So that's something that is still being worked on. But I think that, with progressive economics and supporting people, hearing the voices of diverse people who, deserve to have a voice in our system, that's how we're going to make progress on that issue.
This episode has been brought to you by justinform.com. If you're tired of being censored, tired of having your data stolen and sold, go to justinform.com, a social media site where all voices are welcome.